6 weeks before 9/11, Alex Jones predicted on live TV that the American government might fly a plane into the World Trade Center.
Call the White House and tell them, we know the government's planning terrorism. We know Oklahoma City and World Trade Center was terrorism.
21st of March 2006, Charlie Sheen, a famous actor, appeared on Alex Jones's radio show and said,
"It seems to me like, 19 amateurs with box cutters taking over 4 commercial airliners and hitting 75% of their targets. That feels like a conspiracy theory."
England, UK, City of Manchester, 23rd of September 2006. 5,000 people demonstrated in the city. Investigate 9/11. 9/11 was an inside job. 17th of March 2007, Rosie O'Donnell goes public about 9/11. Previously, on the popular TV programme called The View, she said,
"But I do believe that it is the first time in history that fire has ever melted steel. I do believe that it defies physics for the World Trade Center Tower 7, Building 7, which collapsed in on itself. It is impossible for a building to fall the way it fell without explosives being involved."
Today, 2007, almost every city in the West has a 9/11 truth movement. From Atlanta to Chicago, London, Los Angeles, Manchester, England, UK, New York, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, and that's just to name a few. We also know there are large 9/11 truth movements in France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and even Poland. February the 6th, 2007, George Monbiot wrote that the internet film Loose Change has now been watched by 100 million people. When a theory becomes so big that it roots itself in different languages and tens of millions of people affiliate with the 9/11 truth movements, then it becomes foolish to dismiss those people as being conspiracy nuts. Nobody can deny that the 9/11 truth movement has crossed over into the consciousness of the mainstream public. But how did it cross over? Is it because Vice President Dick Cheney lied to the 9/11 Commission?
A young man who would come in and say to the vice president, the plane is 50 miles out.
The testimony you've just heard means that Dick Cheney was giving orders at 9:25 and not 9:58, as he told the commission on page 40. In that half an hour that he lied about, he could have saved 125 lives at the Pentagon. Or is it because Philip Zelikow, a man who pushed for preemptive war in Iraq, best friends with Condoleezza Rice, was appointed executive director of the official 9/11 Commission? That 9/11 Commission report was no more impartial than if Dick Cheney himself was running it. Or maybe it's because of the now notorious document called Rebuilding America's Defenses. It was written by Dick Cheney a year before 9/11, and on page 51 it called for the transformation of the military and a new Pearl Harbor. Page 62, it demanded that this transformational laboratory must be established as rapidly as possible. Page 37, let's begin the process of transformation. And we all know what happened a year later. The military was indeed transformed. But what else caused the 9/11 truth movement to cross over? Is it because on September the 13th, 2001, the White House's Council on Environmental Quality issued a statement that read, "The air is safe to breathe"? July 2007, as a direct result of this statement, more than half of the heroes who cleaned Ground Zero have serious respiratory problems. And how much will it cost per year to medically treat those heroes?
How much do you need?
There's been a lot of number crunching, and the numbers have estimated to be at $250 million a year to cover all responders for all their World Trade Center problems in New York City, including the fire department, and also those responders nationwide.
That's $1 billion every 4 years. So what else caused the 9/11 truth movement to cross over into the consciousness of the mainstream public? Is it the fact that World Trade Center Building 7, which was not hit by a plane, collapsed at near free fall speed into its own footprint, a goal of controlled demolition? In the preface of the official 9/11 Commission report, it states, "The law directed us to investigate facts thoroughly." So what does it say about World Trade Center 7? It says absolutely nothing. Zilch. Zero. Not one word, and that's a fact. Subsequent investigations did mention World Trade Center 7, but only in passing and not in any detail. Literally thousands of people witnessed secondary explosions, hundreds testified on camera.
To the first explosion.
Big explosion. We had that big explosion from much lower.
As soon as I got outside, I heard a second explosion and another.
Like, it sounded like gunfire, and then all of a sudden, three big explosions.
Because if there was a third explosion, this building might not last.
Big explosion.
To me, it sounded like an explosion.
That is another bomb going off.
That's explosions in the basement before and after the plane struck the Twin Towers. And what does the official report have to say about the overwhelming evidence like that from William Rodriguez? Absolutely nothing, and that's a fact.